like good chemistry.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Good evening and welcome to the Div 4 Winter Final here in Brossard, Quebec. PZ Delarizzi joining me along with Simone Dagenet as we gear up for a critical final here between the Grip and Rip against Recipe for Disaster coming into the playoffs. Grip and Rip finished with a record of 8-2, R4D 73. 2 teams, 1 trophy. Welcoming you two guys here. I'll start with you, Simone. 2 teams, different roads, but they slayed a lot of top-tier teams to get here. Your thoughts?
I think Recipe for Disaster really took down most of the big teams in their conference. When they upset 6 Fast Guys plus Ryan, they really showed Div 4 that they were a contender for the title. And the way Grip and Rip has been playing, they really shut out their opponents, and both teams really deserve their place here tonight.
All right, PZ. You know a couple of these guys on both sides here.
Of course.
Your thoughts with these 2 teams going at it?
Well, first of all, I love the reference of the 2 teams, 1 trophy. I saw that video on YouTube. It was very disturbing. However, I did want to say that looking at these 2 teams, I think it's going to come down to who's able to impose their will. And looking at Recipe for Disaster, obviously the goal is to contain Vinny Galano. On the other side, for Grip and Rip, whether they're able to use that fluid offense, whether or not they're able to take advantage of some missteps by Recipe for Disaster, that'll be the key to success, I think.
Well, Simone, you talk about the quarterback play. Vinny Galano, fantastic. Sean Avram, how much do you think we'll see of him quickly before we get to the first play here of using the 2 QB system for Grip and Rip?
I expected a lot. I expect they're going to go with it a bit during the game, mostly on like 4th downs or on 2-point conversions. I expect to see Sean Avram throw at least 4 or 5 passes tonight.
Well, we're about to get underway here. Grip and Rip will be on defense. Recipe for Disaster on offense wearing their alternate blue uniforms this evening here, as they do wear green, but they are the away team. Away we go. Quick pass out, great catch upfield, and a tackle by Sean Avram as Daniel Farag gets the first play of the game for Recipe for Disaster.
Yeah, Farag had 3 touchdowns in the last game, basically wide open, and you see the way that they drop the plays. It allows them to work in space, just like on that one there.
A good easy completion for Applebaum to get started. Good momentum, easy catch, easy pass. Gets the game going.
First down conversion and off to a fantastic start. My apologies. It will be a 2nd and a nose for Applebaum. Quick pass. Bustani, incomplete. Kevin Bustani, a key player for the Recipe for Disaster, being covered by Vinny Galano.
I think Bustani is one of those reliable receivers. It's odd to see him drop a pass. It wasn't really the best pass Applebaum has thrown in the playoffs. Bustani dropped it, but doesn't really matter. It's third and inches.
I think that was a timing thing, though. The ball was okay. It was placed well. It came out quicker, I thought, than Bustani thought it would come at him.
Keep an eye on Mike Zanobi, who's had a fantastic year rushing the quarterback. Ryan Aridi, play action. Applebaum, pass out to Rockman. That'll be enough for a first down. He is forced out, and they'll move the sticks.
I told this to Jake Applebaum when I saw him in person. He's probably, since his days with Channel 4 News Team, and he's wearing that jersey tonight, so it's kind of cool to see him wear that. He is probably one of the most improved quarterbacks, I think, in the past couple of seasons. What do you think, Simo?
I agree. Applebaum really improved. He's showing that he can actually play up to this division right now. He actually finds open receivers like on this route. Found Rockman on the sideline. Great completion.
And again, we talk about the GNR defense. 19 INTs, 26 PDs in the regular season. In the playoffs alone, 4 INTs.
Yeah, maybe if more of those PDs were INTs, it'd be great.
Applebaum being forced out, throws it, incomplete, intended for Rockman, and it goes out of bounds. 2nd down coming up.
Great rush by Zanobi on Applebaum. Forced a quick throw. Wasn't ready. Incomplete.
5th play coming up.
And the coverage as well was pretty good. I mean, forcing Jake to throw off his back foot obviously was somewhat of a challenge for him, but also defense on the other 5 guys holding strong made it a tough throw for him to make.
Well, you look at Recipe for Disaster. They're 4-2 when they score 30-plus points, and that was 6 times during the regular season. We'll see if they can continue that in the playoffs. They slayed the likes of 6 Fast Guys to get here. Rolling out now. Pass out, force out, and it will be a 3rd down coming up here, and this will be the first 3rd down opportunity for the Disaster offense.
Yeah, so, Mo, just to touch back on what you said, a game like that, though, a game 6 Fast Guys plus Ryan kind of plays into their favor because you know it'll be a high-scoring game. Whereas this one here, I think we'll see this kind of pace throughout. I think we're going to see both offenses try and just wind down the clock and get to, extend each drive as long as possible before punching it in the red zone.
Well, a big third down coming up here. 3rd and about 6, give or take. Applebaum going into the end zone. Bustani incomplete. Covered by Vinny Galano. Well played by number 24, Grip and Rip.
I have to say, Mike Zanobi's having a really good night right now as a rusher. He's really forcing Applebaum to make some quick throws. His receivers are not ready. He's off rhythm. Rusher's doing a great job.
But Applebaum's also got cement feet. He's just standing in one spot. He's not even shifting them or anything. He looks rattled by the rusher already. So unless he's willing to move, unless he's willing to change, Zanobi's going to keep eating him up as the game goes on.
So far today, Applebaum has 4 incompletions and 2 completions, 2 for 6 in this opening drive. Base formation. He's got Bustani to his extreme left. Going over into the corner, Jattaridi, well defended as it appeared number 2, Jordan Allard with the play, and a great stand by the Grip and Rip defense.
Ball placed a little bit behind him there. I thought it was thrown a little bit late, a little bit behind, but Jattaridi was open early. Could have been a touchdown. Instead, they see the ball switch hands.
Well, they couldn't convert on 4th down, Simo.
I think it really shows what Grip and Rip is actually doing on defense more than what Recipe for Disaster is doing on offense. The rushers really playing well. Coverage was spot on. Stopped in red zone.
Well, Vinny Galano at quarterback. Last 6 games, he's been sacked 9 times. Quick pass out. A great catch by number 84 for Grip and Rip. And that is none other than Anthony De Silva, who's had a great season for GNR.
The Silvas in general, obviously a big part of this offense. And you see a play like that where, look, if you're going to give the center that much space in the middle of the field, you're asking them to eat up yards against him.
2nd down and about 2, give or take. Whistle finally blowing in. Watch out for Galano's legs. Quick pass. De Silva with the catch, and he is tackled very quickly by Daniel Farag. His 2nd tackle of the game, 2nd catch for De Silva.
Once again, Vinny Guala goes to Antonio Salva. It's really their bread and butter, the way the offense is working. Hits him in the middle, hits him on a slant. It's really goes to the snapper. As long as the snapper is able to convert, they're going to keep driving the field.
Simon, don't you think that at some point we'll see the defense start to undercut those slants to the center and see them potentially take it back for 6?
As long as they don't do it, he's going to keep hitting his snapper. And it's been working so far, and it's been working all season long for them.
That's fair.
1st and 10. Galano rolling to his left. Quick pass out to Sean Avery. Makes one quick move, and he is tackled by number 13, Anthony Habashi. And it'll be 2nd and long or 2nd and 9. However, there is a recipe for disaster player down on his knee is Ryan Narita, who may have pulled up again. He did injure that hamstring 2 weeks ago and didn't play in their win last week. We'll see if he's going to be effective at all if he's going to continue on.
Brett Bodkin's shaking his head, so I'm assuming you're wrong, Mokan.
It looks bad. Ryan Narita stepping out. It really looks bad.
It does look a little tense. That being said, Ryan, if he can get back on the field, will be out on there. We know how fierce a competitor he is.
It is now 2nd down coming up. Galano, quick step. Away he goes. He's got space to work with. He'll get the sideline. Up the sideline he goes. Galano touchdown.
Right here, we see the difference with Ryan Narita stepping out. Vinny Guadalajara reads it, knows his rusher just stepped out, changes rushers, uses that disadvantage, runs on the sideline. The offense plays himself properly. Touchdown.
18-yard run by Vinny Galano, and we talk about the fact that he can use his legs even as much as his arm, and it was a fantastic drive for Grip and Rip. And we talk about this, guys. When he rushes for a TD, they're 6-0. So this could bode well for the history of this team's success.
Well, it's what they do well. Simon Dajne doesn't like to believe it, but running quarterbacks can actually add to the arsenal if, of course, they can throw the ball like Vinny can and does on this play.
Wide open is De Silva, 7-0 lead now, and we'll see how Recipe for Disaster reacts. But right now, the cost could be Ryan Aridi, who is out for who knows how long, but they have to figure it out moving forward.
Yeah, Ryan, if you just look at his body language right now, he doesn't look like he's ready to come back in.
He looks angry. He looks upset with himself.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know he's frustrated. Being injured is one of the most frustrating experiences, especially in a championship game.
We'll see what adjustments they do. Quick pass out. Rockman catches that. He is going to be incomplete.
I thought he was in. Looked like he had both feet in. I'm impressed by how quick Applebaum's been getting rid of the ball. If you can just just calm down and get to be a little bit tighter, a little bit more accurate, I think we'll see them start to march the ball down the field.
It'll be second down coming up for the disaster offense. They were shut out on their first series. Grip and Rip up by 7. Applebaum looking right, waiting, stepping up over the middle. Bustani open. Away he goes upfield. Bustani will get the first down and more, and he's forced out. But the key thing, a first down and moving the sticks.
A great play by Applebaum. He waits till the rusher gets to him, wasn't under pressure, finds the open receiver that came across the field for a nice first down.
Boost. He does it well. He hits the ball in the open field. We saw it there. And Simon, I agree with you. And that's exactly what we're talking about. If you just let the rusher stop getting in your head and just calm down, get the ball out of your hands in calm fashion, that's what we saw.
Second first down of this game. Quick pass to Jadaridi, and he'll be stopped for a 1 or 2 yard gain. And it'll be 2nd and 6 or 2nd and 7 coming up.
Now, Mokan, I noticed you called them the disaster offense. The first drive with all those incompletions, I think they earned that name, but they're starting to play a bit better. So it's not quite the disaster offense anymore.
We'll see what they do on this drive coming up.
I think Applebaum just shook off the whole championship pressure on his shoulders, and I think he's getting back into his rhythm.
2nd and 8. Applebaum looking left, going into the corner. Bustani!
That was a nice
Touchdown!
No!
Played well by Vinny Galano.
Incomplete
Pass and a great play by Vinny Galano to prevent a 6-point gain forward.
If by that you mean he dropped the ball because he blew the coverage, then yes, great play by Vinny Galano. What we saw in reality was Kevin Bustani running a great post corner and then just not being able to position his body to catch the ball.
I think it was a really nice route. He really beat the DB on it, but the pass was a bit late. It was a bit of a slow pass. If it would have came in a bit shorter, Bustani would have locked it in.
Applebaum in the playoffs this year, 4 INTs. 7 times he's had 2 or more INTs in the game. In the playoffs alone, he has 4. Applebaum looking left, taking 2 steps. His right now, rolling out, forced out, picked off by Sean Avram. Away he goes, Avram, and he'll be tackled. We talk about the INTs, and that was a big turnover, back-to-back series, resulting in nothing for the disaster offense.
They are the disaster offense officially. There you go. Sean Avram was waiting for that one. You saw it in his eyes from almost when the ball was snapped. He saw the route coming in front of him, and basically because the rush has been getting to Jake, throwing off his back foot again, we see it intercepted.
We'll see if Vinny Galano can convert this for points for Grip and Rip. 7-0 lead. It appears Kevin Bustani will be the rusher. Galano, quick pass out to De Silva. Upfield he goes, spin move, and he is tackled for about a 4 or 5 yard gain by number 13 for Disaster and Daniel Farag.
Vinny Galano is looking really good right now on offense. He's just playing his game. He's playing good, and so far it's been working for them. If they can actually punch it in right now, this could be huge for them.
2-score lead? Who knows?
What I'm noticing is they're giving Sean Avram the outside release so they give him the outside release and he's not taking it. I don't know. I'd like to see Vinny take advantage of that because it's wide open.
Galano running to his right, stops, going into the end zone. Through the hands as it was intended for number 2, Jordan Allard, who just missed it with his left hand in the corner of the end zone. Third down, coming up for Grip and Rip.
I think with the new rusher, we can see Bustani making an effect right away on Galano. He was forced. He actually wanted to run, was forced to make a throw, couldn't connect. Goes a lot to Bustani on this.
Third down, can he convert? Looking, going into the end zone again. Picked off in a big hit. Oh, my. And Jadaridi got rocked. David Miron also got rocked. But boy, oh, boy, that was a collision course.
It's a rough night for the stars in this team.
Especially for the Aridis.
Yeah, they're going out trying to make plays. Miron and Aridi, with Ryan already down, this is not boding well for Recipe for Disaster.
Miron gets up.
Jad's still on the floor.
You know, he got Miron's face in his gut.
Yeah.
That's just a rough one.
It was a solid collision between the two. They both went for the ball that was in the shirt pick. Both teammates hit each other.
It's 2 athletes just trying to make a big play.
Thankfully, it's nothing more serious than that, as it may have been wind knocked out from both these guys here. But if they lose 1 or 2 of them, that would be severe on the Disaster defense.
Yeah. And I mentioned before, I was saying Sean Abram was getting the outside release. Now it's actually Mike Zanobi in that spot on the left wide for GNR. Honestly, and look, if you see the defensive team goes back to him.
Shoulder pass And that should be enough for a first down on a fourth down conversion for De Silva.
Jadarides walking back on the field. He looks okay. He looks back on his feet. David Miron is also still in the game. So it might not be as disastrous as we thought for Recipe.
I think it's honestly, I'm glad to see them both out there. Maybe they just got the wind knocked out of them.
But that was a severe collision
big,
course.
Big contact.
First down now inside the red zone. Grip and Rip looking to go up by 12. Waiting, buying time, open, touchdown. Big catch by number 21, Matt De Silva, and it is now 12-0 for Grip and Rip. 13-0 now.
Beautiful catch by Matt De Silva with both feet in. Great catch. Nice throw by Vinny Guilano as well.
Yeah, Vinny just put the ball where no one else can get it, right? Like, just put it in a spot, make sure the receiver, trust the receiver to make the catch at the sideline, and he did.
We talk about the De Silvas and the Lards combining this year 96 catches for 965 yards and 22 TDs. So they've definitely been the trio.
Up 13-0. They're going for 2 on this one. If they could actually convert and get it for 2, it would be a 15-0 lead.
And a big 2-score lead early in this first half. Trips right. Sean Abram dropping back as quarterback. Handoff. No, he won't. Keeping it. No one rushing the Galano. Backed over to Abram. Abram has all day now. He can eat himself a sandwich. Away he's going to run. Abram, spin move. Is he tackled out of the end zone?
He looked a little heavy on that one because of the sandwich, Volkan.
He may have eaten the Subway sandwich. One too many.
A beautiful tackle by Daniel Farag. He actually jumped in front of Sean Abram to try to spin him. Didn't work. Good stop.
Big stop for the disaster defense. Now can they get back on offense and score some points? Right now they have been held in check as the story of the game. Ryan Aridi out. Jadari was out for a brief moment. Now he's back in the huddle. So that's good news to see for the recipe for disaster offense.
Yeah, they're going to need all these pieces. The Aridis and Miron are having the offense for most of the season. So hopefully they can right the ship now.
Applebaum, quick pass. Bustani catches on his knees, and that'll be a 2 if not 3 yard gain tackled by Vinny Galano.
Still a good connection. I think Applebaum is trying to get back in his rhythm, get some completions on, drive the field a little bit. It's something he needs. He has to stop looking deep and start throwing these short routes. He needs to get the momentum back up.
Last week, Kevin Bustani had 2 catches for 15 yards. Tonight, 2 catches for 16 yards. So he surpassed his total from last week.
And we expect him to be a bigger part of this game as well.
Applebaum looking right now. Buying time. He is sacked by Zanobi, and that will be a 6-yard loss. And Applebaum thought he was tackled, but it will not be called for that, but a sack for Mike Zanobi.
And, Simo, you've been talking about it all game, how good Zanobi's been on the rush. He finally getting to Jake Applebaum. Do you think that he's going to continue to look as rattled, or do you think he's just going to step into his own game at some point?
I think he's really getting in his head. I haven't been giving a lot of credit to Zanobi this season. He's been really stellar, and tonight he's really the shining star on their defense.
Third and extremely long for this disaster offense. Can they convert, or are they going to be forced to punt? Right now, Applebaum is 2 steps in his end zone. High snap. Applebaum throws it. Open. Rockman. And that will be very close to a first down. We'll see where Steve Donald has that marked. And that might be a yard short, which it is.
2 yards short, yeah.
That was a great route. I like the route running on Recipe for Disaster, and Applebaum put that ball in the great spot again. Honestly, it's been spotty for Jake Applebaum, but when he's been good, and obviously Vinny's been on his game all game, just some good quarterback play in this game.
0 for 2 now, and third down conversions for for Recipe for Disaster. Now it's a fourth down coming up here. They went 0 for 1 their last series. Can they now convert on this fourth down? Big play of the game. Applebaum looking left, waiting, throwing, opens Jadari, first down, and he'll get around and tackled by Vinny Galano, but that'll be enough to move the beanbags.
Which is all they needed in that play. So well designed, well drawn up, great play by Jadari.
It's something they really needed. A stop there could have been the game if Vinny Guilano punched him back again. Good completion, something they really, really needed.
First and 10. Recipe for Disaster looking to put some points on the board past the halfway point of this first half. Applebaum looking to his left, waiting, pumping. He's got Bustani. He's knocked off.
That's got to be pass interference.
And there will no flag on that.
That's a bad no call in my opinion. What do you think about that, Mo?
Well, the big news, courtesy GM, our insider, Clethris, Ryan Reedy hamstring injury, but nonetheless, that was PI.
Thank you, Mo, for finally getting to my point.
Shoulder into Kevin Bustani, but no call from the referee.
At the very least, you got to call that illegal contact, in my opinion.
Second down. Applebaum looking, rolling out to his right. Going to run now. Applebaum make one move, tackled by Sean Abram for maybe a yard. It might be a sack. We'll see where they mark that off. But it might be minimal gain at best. 1 yard.
Regardless of the outcome, I think this is something Applebaum really needed. He needs to show Zenobi that he can actually run around, and Zenobi needs to slow down and break down a bit more because he's coming at him way too fast right now.
Well, it's the cement feet that I was talking about earlier, right? So if he can move around a little bit and slow down the rusher, I think Jake will set to find his rhythm.
We talk about the disaster defense. 4 times they've held opponents under 20 points during the regular season. 2 times in the playoffs they've held opponents less than 20. Right now they're on the cusp of not letting any points right now. High snap. Applebaum. Pass over to Bustani. Bustani facing pressure for Zanabi. Picked off by Abram again. Second INT.
That's a nice
and another turnover for Grip and Rip.
I blame Ryan Aridi's injury on you, Mokan, because you keep referring to this team as the disaster team. So it's kind of a bad omen you're putting out there. It's all on you.
I think that was a well-designed play with Bustani going for a trickery, except it was a bad pass in my opinion. Like really good pick by Sean Abraham close to the floor. I think Bustani really wanted to discard more than actually connect with his receiver, and Sean Abraham used that disadvantage.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I kind of agree, Simone. But if you're gonna throw a ball away like that, you gotta get to the sideline.
I agree.
You can't give the other team a chance.
I agree.
To get an extra possession. Not in the finals.
That was way too costly.
We'll see now if they can make him pay for that. Galano. And he'll be stopped by Rockman for maybe a 2, if not 3-yard gain.
I think Guilano's really in his rhythm. They need to find a way to minimize his impact. Right now, he's their offense. He feels comfortable in the pocket. He runs around a lot. He feels like there's no rusher against him. They need to figure something out because Guilano is being dominant right now.
Controlling tempo more or less, guys.
Absolutely. And they just need to. Recipe for disaster. I feel they're one big play on defense from getting back in the game and getting the ball rolling.
Galano, quick pass out. Allard. Miron with the tackle. It'll be 3rd down coming up.
Yeah, I think they got to start making plays early because if you keep giving them short downs to work with, they're not going to be worried about taking a snap on 4th down, 4th and 1, 4th and 2. So, like these short 3rd downs, short 4th down, it's not what's going to take to beat GNR, in my opinion.
Base formation. Abram, the inside receiver to the left. Quick pass to De Silva. Spin out. Away he goes. Can he get to the end zone? Touchdown. Great move. It is now 19-0 for Grip and Rip.
I think, like we mentioned, Grip and Rip is way too comfortable right now. They're just hitting the short passes. They're just hitting the receivers every single down. His completion ratio is incredible right now. The way I see it, Recipe for Disaster really needs to take risk. They're playing safe, and it's costing them.
Yeah, at this point, just start playing man. Force Vinny to actually have to make a read, have to see who's open. Yes, he can run, but you have Kevin Bustani rushing. Kevin's got great speed. I'd like to see them mix it up a little bit because just leaving the snapper open play after play is not a recipe for success, I would say.
But you see,
Nice
guys, we look at Ryan Arini's absence. He has had 8 TDs in the last 8 games, and the extra point is
Not good.
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 And that's a 1-point
I
converse.
thought he stepped on the line, but it looks good to me. The referee said it was good.
You thought he stepped on the line, and I think we have a different understanding of what a completed pass is.
Well, again, we'll see what they do now for completed passes. And it is now 20-0 for Grip and Rip.
I believe Recipe for Disaster really should try and look deep now. They need to get points on the board and they need to make it fast. They can't be trailing by 20 points at halftime. They need to make something happen and they need some spark.
I'd like to see if they can sort of stretch the field and sort of hit the intermediate zones.
Quick pass out, caught upfield, and it will be a quick play by Vinny Galano as that was caught by Down Farrig. It'll be 2nd down coming up.
I think Applebaum should consider changing his cadence when he's rolling for the ball. The rusher starts before the ball even leaves the snapper's hands. If you go for some hard count, he might actually get the rusher offside.
Less than 30 seconds to 5 plays. Applebaum facing pressure, short pass to Jadaridi. He's got space to work with. Arita cutting through, making one move. He slips and tackled by Vinny Galano. And that could be enough for a 1st down. We'll see where they mark it off.
Hey, Mo, I'm curious. You're a Hall of Famer. and you were a rusher, not necessarily related, but as a rusher, were you affected by a different cadence or perhaps even a silent snap count?
No, I think you have to look at the ball. That's what they always teach you in tackle football is don't go off a sound. See when the ball moves and go. And I think for Zenobia and for the Recipe for Disaster rush, they have to figure out when to go. So that is a first down. Applebaum going.
That was just a late
Well
throw.
defended by De Silva. It'll be second down coming up.
So there's 4 plays left in a half. How do you see this going? Should Applebaum hit the end zone right now? Should he actually use all 4 plays and try to get some momentum going in the second half?
I think so, yeah. I think it's a good strategy. And he called 2 posts, and they kind of drew coverage into each other, and he threw the ball late, which I find interesting. But both posts were open early, so if he can just hit that deep ball early, it's there for him.
4 plays left. Second down coming up. Applebaum 2 steps to the right, waiting, pumping, going, caught. Out of bounds it goes. Habashi with the catch. Tackled by Jordan Allard, and that will be very close to a first down, if not just past the rush bag.
Once again, we see Applebaum really under pressure again. Zenobi's really in his head. You can see he's looking at the rusher. He's missing some windows. He's too nervous with the rusher. He needs to find a solution.
Yeah, and honestly, the play call was interesting again. There, they really not attacking on different levels. They have either 2 guys running at the same spot, or they have guys all short. I don't see what they're doing.
Applebaum again going into the corner of the end zone. Jadaridi through his hands, incomplete.
Great defensive play by De Silva. It was a really nice tip ball. I think Jada had it, but the defender made a play.
Yeah, it's still, you get 2 hands on the ball in a championship game. You got to make that catch. I don't expect Jadaridi to miss a ball like that again.
What's remarkable, guys, is that the 2 most lethal weapons are on the bench right now, Kevin Bustani and Ryan Arides. So right now they have to work with what's given to them, and right now they cannot convert when it's called upon for them.
Well, Applebaum has been good making up with the receivers he has. He's been distributing the ball really well all season long. I don't think he really needs the star receivers. But
Pass bounced up in the air, incomplete, almost picked off by number 21, Matt De Silva.
That's a turnover on downs for Grip and Rip.
And he had a tee out smash on the outside, whatever you call that route, wide open. He could have even maybe taken it up the sideline. Just not a very good read by Jake Applebaum. He's got to settle down. Maybe have a beer on the sideline, whatever it takes, because
I think
this isn't going to cut it.
His receivers are really out of sync. They're just dropping balls. He should have caught that. It was a 4th down with 2 plays left. It was a critical play. They dropped the ball, ended up and turnover on downs. Grip and Rip decided to punt to keep their momentum going. They're up 20 at halftime. It could get ugly.
Well, we'll see what happens now, guys. Guys, what do they have to do in the second half?
Honestly, Jake Applebaum has to start making his reads quicker. He needs to stop staring down the rush. Get the ball in your hand, make your read, trust your throw, trust your receivers, and that's all it's going to take. That's what I think for their offense. What do you think about their defense, Simo? Do you think they can make any adjustments there?
I think they need to start playing aggressive. I think they need to start jumping routes and taking risk. They're playing really safe. They're letting the receivers get the short yardage and play safe for the flag. They need to start taking risk. Jump the route, jump the slant, try to get an interception. If it ends up being costly, it's fine. You're down by 20 at this point. You need a sparkle. You need something. Grip and Rip is starting with the ball on offense. If Recipe for Disaster can't make a stop at the first drive, they might lose this game.
Well, guys, look at the first half stats. Not really impressive for both teams, but the score is a 20-point lead for Grip and Rip. And right now, you look at the fact, again, their defense has caused 2 turnovers. 2 INTs by Sean Abram, who's had a great first half on defense. But Vinny Galano has controlled tempo. And, again, Recipe for Disaster, they're battered and bruised. They got to figure it out, guys. And maybe a turnover or 2 will help them, but they got to do something on defense and on offense as well.
Yeah, and for Grip and Rip, honestly, they just got to keep doing what they're doing. They haven't even done anything special. Vinny Galano is just taking what's given to him, and a lot of times it's right in front of him. It's a little hook by the snapper, making a catch, getting a couple of yards after the catch, and eating up yardage. So for them, there's no adjustments necessary unless Recipe for Disaster finally makes some adjustments as we move forward.
Fair enough. And Simo, who's your key player in the second half coming up?
I think Bustani really needs to start making plays. He's the playmaker for Recipe for Disaster. You expect your big players to make big plays in championship games like this. I expect him to make something happen. I can see Bustani getting the pick on defense. Maybe this drive, maybe next one.
Galano, open, caught, touchdown.
I don't even think there was defense.
Matt DeSilva with the catch.
They didn't even make a call for coverage.
Jana really looks upset. He's looking at receivers who was playing where. I think there was confusion on defense who was supposed to drop deep. The receiver just went up. There was nobody with him. Touchdown.
26-0.
Hey, Seymour, doesn't it ever feel that when you play quarterback, no one ever does that to you? No one just leaves the guy open.
It happens
Right?
sometimes. It happens. I just don't hit them because I find it not fair for them. I actually try
I
and
just feel bad. Like,
I feel bad. I
poor
mean,
guy.
we're all here to have fun. I don't want to pick on anybody. So, like, I actually go for coverage.
We look at the first half stats, guys. I mean, 3 first downs, 2 first downs for Grip and Rip, 4th down conversions, 0 for 3 for 3rd down for Rescue for Disaster, 0 for 2 on 4th down for Disaster. So
Well,
right
all
now,
season long, Grip and Rip hasn't really been stats. The stats never look really good for them. To be honest with you, if you look at all their games, good convert, good catch, good convert. I think Grip and Rip is not very stats friendly. Their games are never really pretty on stat sheets. Like last week, they went 9 for 19. But it works. He gets completions. He hits the open guy when he needs to. He converts, and they win games.
You notice they had less first downs, but I guess with coverage like we just saw, you don't need first downs.
you need
to win a
7
game.
points.
Yeah,
That's what you
good
get,
points,
right?
that's it.
So 27-0 lead here. A deep hole for Recipe for Disaster, and it'll be one play at a time mentality, I guess, for now, unless they can get a 40 bomb right now. Applebaum, short pass to Bustani, makes one move on De Silva, and that will be a 6, if not 7-yard gain for Kevin Bustani.
Is it a deep hole? Is it 6 feet yet? Is it a 6-foot hole?
It's tough. It's a tough one. They could still come back. We've seen crazier things happen in FBF, but I think it's a pretty tough hole to dig out from. So far, crazy thing happened. Grip and Rip has actually shut down every opponent in the playoffs by they average 8.6 allowed points per game in the playoffs.
It's pretty amazing itself.
Almost sacked, almost picked off. Here comes Rockman. Away he goes. Spin move and forced up by Jordan Allard, and that'll be enough for a first down. But Ginobili almost had the sack. Sean Avram almost had the INT, but Rockman gets the first down.
A lot of almost things led to a great catch and great gain by Adam Rockman.
Is this what they needed? Is this the little bit of lady luck that Applebaum needed to see?
Well,
If he sees Lady Luck looking like Adam Rockman, he's got some questionable taste.
if there's good news, they now have the edge of first downs for Recipe for Disaster, 4-3 in the second half. Applebaum looking right, going into the corner of the end zone. Incomplete. Farag was right there.
Overthrow his receivers. Farag was actually open on the corner route. You overthrew him, but that could have been a touchdown.
Honestly, it's been open all game, and Jake Applebaum's throwing late. Now we see him throw early, but just throw it slightly too far. Just a small adjustment, and I think we can start to see him put up some points.
Applebaum right now in the deep hole. So far today, not a good start. He has 13 incompletions. Looking to his left now, rolling to his left. Oh, the middle, tipped away by Sean Avram, intended for Kevin Bustani, but Sean almost had a hat trick of 19.
I hate agreeing with you, Peace, because you're never right. But
I'm always right.
But the post has been open all game long. When the wide receivers goes on a post and they hit the deep zone, they're always open. But Applebaum is not even looking deep right now.
And anything that's past 10 yards, whether it's a post or corner, anything with some level of horizontal movement, 10 or 15 yards or deeper, it's been wide open and he's not hitting it. Applebaum needs to start trusting himself.
Grip Rip has been playing really aggressive man-to-man coverage. They're in the receiver's face. They're actually undercutting, and it's been working for them.
Here he is, Applebaum, tackled by Vinny Galano as Kevin Bustani gets his first completion of the game, and they might have to do a little trickery if they want to get back in this game.
I think that was a great tackle by Vinny Galano. He really came down on Jake Applebaum fast. He got a good tackle on him, but wrapped him around. I think Vinny made a good play.
Yeah, it's tough to make a tackle on a big guy bearing down on you with that much momentum in close quarters like that. Absolutely great tackle by Vinny Galano.
Second down coming up for Grip and Rip, for Recipe for Disaster, pardon me, as they're down 27 to Grip and Rip in this second half. So it'll be second and about 4.5. Quick pass, caught, spin move, and that should be enough for a first down for Daniel Farag, and we'll see where they mark it off.
They're going back to quick passes. It's been working for them. That was a great catch by Farag, but as Pete has mentioned earlier, they should really start looking at the crosses in the back of the end zone. They're playing man-to-man coverage.
Going to a no-huddle look. Applebaum going into the end zone, open, touchdown, Rockman, and they break the egg and get on the board for 6 points.
You can't make an omelet without breaking eggs.
We actually look pretty smart right now, calling crosses in the back of the end zone, and that's what actually happened. Not you. You never look smart. Don't worry about it.
I try not to, really. It's not my look.
27-6. Go for 2, guys?
Yes.
Why not?
I don't think they're going for 2. I think they're going for 1 because they're more comfortable going for 1, but they should definitely go for 2.
Perhaps they're not as strong in math.
They need the extra points on the board, and they're actually going for 2.
There we go. They are good in math.
Going for the 2-point call. Applebaum in the end zone through
Dropped.
the hands. It may have been dropped. Jordan Allard on the coverage.
It was actually dropped. That's what happened.
Farag dropped what could have been a 2-point convert, something they really needed, down 27-6 now.
Look, I know the coverage has been tight, but in a championship game, if you get 2 hands on the ball, you need to catch it. There's no excuses. There's no reason for it. That can't be a drop.
Simon, this could be the drive that puts the last nail in the coffin of any hope for Recipe for Disaster coming up.
If Grip and Rip punches this in, it could be over. But this is a kind of moment that Recipe for Disaster needs to step up and make a play.
Galano rolling to his right. Galano's going to run and spin move out of it. Another spin move, and that will be enough, if not less, than the first down. And it looks like it will be a first down for Vinny Galano, tackled by David Miron.
Recipe for Disaster looked like a team defeated. We see one guy going for the flag, and then everyone just stop running. Get off your ass. Stop being lazy. Go out there and make a play, guys. Come on, that's terrible.
Jad is trying to get this team going back up again. He looks frustrated on the other side of the ball. I think that was a good play by Vinny Galano. Doesn't force anything. Goes for an easy run. Gets the easy yards in. He doesn't want to risk throwing on interceptions. He's playing smart football. 4th
first down. If there's an edge, Disaster does not have that. It has that edge, pardon me, as they have more first downs than Grip and Rip.
Yeah, again, the first downs don't matter because Grip and Rip's scoring touchdowns.
Galano looking left, going deep. He's got De Silva. Touchdown.
And see, that's the difference. Like a lot of Galano's balls haven't been pretty. They haven't looked great. Haven't been completely on target, but he's making them count. Receivers are catching it, and we see them continue to pad the lead. And Simon, game done?
Yes. The way we're playing on defense, Farag is not even trying to make a play on the ball. You just watch the receiver catch. His hands were down. They weren't even up trying to make something happen out of it. They really look defeated.
Funny enough, for Grip and Rip, the most they scored in the playoffs was 27 points. They were 3-0, scoring 27 or less points. They surpassed that now. First time they hit 30-plus points in a long time this season.
Well, I did predict Grip and Rip scoring 33 points. I hope they stop making any points at this point and make me look good.
Wild pass.
Nope.
Converted.
Once again, Simon, it's impossible for you to look good.
Once again, analysts, we don't know anything whatsoever. We're just
always wrong. But it's good, though, because we get paid either way.
We're just rambling on random stuff. It doesn't matter.
When you look at Recipe for Disaster, out of bounds, so no good.
Oh, Simon,
there you go.
Genius for now.
Still look good.
It won't last long.
Look good, feel good.
We look at Recipe for Disaster. Can we say that, or could we say, pardon me, that their finals was against 6 Fast Guys and Shmoney, the 2 best teams in their side of the bracket, and they beat them? Do you think they may have had an emotional letdown coming to this point at this season?
I guess, because this isn't good. This isn't pretty all good.
Deep ball. Bustani, push off.
Great catch after push. No!
And it's
stripped.
Incomplete. So
don't complain for a call, Bustani, after you push off. Don't.
I think there should have been a flag on both sides of the ball. Bustani pushed off the receiver, but got it stripped afterwards. I think there should have been a flag on either way, canceled, but there was no flag whatsoever.
And Sean Avon pleading to the referees along with Vinny Galano. And, of course, it appears it may have been De Silva on the coverage. We'll see what number that is. But it would have been offsetting anyway. How about that?
I think this is something Recipe for Disaster needed to get going faster, going deep balls, forcing Grip and Rip to back off on the coverage. They're really playing too tight, and it's costing them.
Pass out to Bustani. That should be enough for a first down. Flag coming up here. We'll see what the call is, but that will be enough for a first down depending.
And a hold.
So that will be more than enough for a first down.
Some extra yardage, and Simon, I couldn't agree more. Look, they know the deep ball's coming. That being said, I still see some zones to be taken advantage of. Deep in the, like not necessarily deep, sort of 10-15 yards down the middle of the field, has looked open to me, continues to look open. So, can Jake Applebaum take advantage of that? We'll have to see.
Grip and Rip has been playing smart football. They're up by 27 points. There's no reason to play tight anymore. They're lining up 7 yards away from the receivers. and
End zone
they
over
still
the
managed to
head.
get beat.
No,
Bustani was hoping on the route. They still managed to get beat in the end zone.
It's almost like the grip and rip are just standing there 7 yards and looking at a Jake Applebaum. Once he looks to his side, then they sort of move and
They're playing a prevent defense essentially
Yeah.
right now at this point, knowing that this game is well in hand by 27 points and not much to play for aside from the seconds ticking down for them to get their Div 4 title.
That was deep, Mo. Nothing to play for but seconds.
It's all about seconds right now. Applebaum looking left, waiting. Opens, post. All right, Aridi, well defended by Galano as Jad Aridi was open for a split second but could not get that ball in his hands.
Once again, we look smart. You call the open post. It was open, but Applebaum really underthrew his receivers. The pass was behind him. If he would have led his receivers with the ball, that would have been a touchdown.
17th incompletion for Jake Applebaum this evening.
I don't know if it's because we got the eye in the sky sort of look, and so we're seeing the post where Jake Applebaum's not seeing it, but to me they're wide open, and it's coming out late, coming out early, through too deep. It's just not working out for him.
Short pass. Caught by Farag, and that will be fourth down coming up.
All season long, we've been seeing this roller coaster of Applebaum. He has really good games where he completes 25 for 28 with 6 touchdowns, and then the next week he's going to throw 2 interceptions with only 4 touchdowns and then win by a point. We've seen this going all and around, and with Ryan Aridi getting injured really early in the game, I think it really hit the team's momentum, really hit their hopes.
But how healthy was he, though? Because he was not healthy. He didn't play last week, and they said he was healthy to go this week. So in reality, really wasn't 100%, though.
We need to install robot parts into Ryan Aridi. That's, I think, the solution.
Or steroids. No. Applebaum caught,
Touchdown.
and that's a touchdown by Anthony Habashi to make it 33-12.
So what would you have done? Would you have benched Ryan Aridi knowing he might not be 100%?
Oh, you got to play in the championship game.
So you play him on championship, but if he gets injured off the bat like this, it kills your momentum, kills your mood.
But it kills your momentum if he doesn't suit up anyway.
Right, I applaud him for giving it a go, right? But in reality, that probably hurt the team because, again, the mindset saying, okay, he's here, he's going to be able to help us, but unfortunately for him, I'm sure he's upset himself, disappointed that he couldn't be more of a factor.
Definitely. We all know Ryan Aridi to be a really big competitor.
Great player.
Nice ball.
Yes.
And will that be good? Yes, it will. So
nice
2-point
ball,
convert.
nice route, good catch by Bustani. This is what Recipe for Disaster should have looked like from the get-go.
Well, it is now a 33-14 lead, making this game a bit more respectable as we inch so close to the end of this game here. And for Vinny Galano and this offense, they have been gripping it and ripping it against this disaster defense.
Well, it's not over yet. We've seen crazier things happen in FBF. A pick 6 could really hurt grip and rip. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Vinny's going to use his legs a lot, but we've seen things happen.
The first incompletion right there for Vinny Galano. So his perfect game is now over.
And you know what? Simo, you couldn't have been more wrong as Vinny threw an awkward ball that could have been picked off.
That was one of his worst throws of the night. That was
Of the season,
horrible.
perhaps, yeah.
Second down coming up for Grip and Rip and for Recipe for Disaster as they're down by 19 with very little left in this game. Vinny Galano was perfect up until that last play where he threw his first incompletion that was almost picked off as the Nostradamus, Simon Dagian, was predicted that. Galano rolling to his right, making one move on Miron. Spin out of it. First down and more. Another spin, and that will be a 13-yard gain tackled by Kevin Bustani.
So what is it about Vinny Guilano? Is it that he's fast? Is it that he's shifty? These receivers keep missing tackles on him.
It's honestly, as you play in the higher divisions, you know the little body movements that you'll make with your hip that allows you to elude the flag grabber. Let's call them flag grabbers. And honestly, the fact that he's fast and elusive adds to that. So he knows what it takes to elude the defender, and he also has the physical abilities to make it happen.
You know what? And we asked him that question on the podcast, the presser, and saying, "Are you the best dual threat quarterback?" He goes, "No, it's not me." Sean Avram helps him as a quarterback with the play calling. Galano feeling the pressure. Rockman sack, and that will be about a 6-yard loss on that play.
And then Galano just looked gassed in that play. To be honest, he looked tired and he was like, "Ugh, don't feel like running."
So what is it? Is this the kind of thing that Recipe for Disaster needed in the first half going on to
play well? Yes.
To get Vinny Guilano gas like this, to get him on his back foot and concede sacks instead of actually trying to make plays. He looks like he actually won the game already, and they're not even trying anymore.
Yeah, it kind of is what it seems like.
Well, right now, we'll see what they do on this drive here, up by 19. Base formation. Zanobi gets the ball. Zanobi's got space where Bustani covering in and zeroing in on him, and he'll stop him, tripping him up for about a 4 or 5 yard gain on that play.
It's an excellent lower body clothesline. I like that. took him down. Good tackle.
Once again, there seemed to be confusion on Recipe for Disaster's defense. They're late to the line of scrimmage. They actually were running up the line of scrimmage before the ball was snapped. They look like there's a bit of confusion. Who's supposed to go where? It doesn't look like they know what they're doing.
Yeah, they just have look at their body language. They look defeated. They look slow to the huddle, like you said, hands on their hips. They don't look like they're ready to play this game.
7 minutes left to 5 plays. Galano feeling the pressure from Rockman. Spins out of it. Galano open is De Silva. That'll be enough for a first down. He spins out of it, and Farragher will get the tackle, but that'll be enough for a first down and more.
Yeah, there's no excuse for that kind of play.
No.
Yes, beat the rusher, that's fine, but then I don't know. Like, how do you move away from your defender that way?
Vinny got lucky. That's what he got.
He got lucky, but then you see the defender just move away from the receiver, move away from Sean Avery. How do you do it?
He wasn't even playing anymore. There was no whistle. Nobody was moving on the field. Everybody was just standing there. It doesn't look like a championship game to me.
6th first down for Grip and Rip. As we're inside 7 minutes of this second half here, no doubt if Grip and Rip do score, this will more or less put this game out of reach for Recipe for Disaster.
So will they cover the snap this time? That's interesting.
Galano rolling to his right. Sideline, a large, gorgeous catch, touchdown.
That was a great pass, a great catch. This shows the depth of Grip and Rip.
And I kind of like that. I kind of like Galano on the run, keeping his eyes downfield. Honestly, he could have taken advantage of that more all game as he rolls towards the sideline. A lot of times the deep receivers have been open.
Technically it wasn't
Sorry?
down deep. He actually looked like 3 yards ahead of himself.
Well, yeah, I'm saying downfield. More downfield than his own pants.
39-14.
You can see beyond his...
Agree to
self.
disagree.
Fine, you can be wrong.
Well, they're going for one right now to make this maybe a 40-14 lead. Sean Avram now at quarterback. Avram taking 2 steps back, looking left, going into the side. Galano, and he gets it. So it's 40-14, and without a doubt, this game is more or less out of reach for.
There was a beautiful route by Vinny Galano. He ran it really nicely. There was a good throw by Sean Avram. Good connection, good chemistry. It was a timing route, worked perfectly.
Yeah, Galano was like, everyone's catching balls. I feel left out. Let's do it.
Sean Avram mentioned to me this week that he badly wanted to win this title. It's been years since he last won, I believe. He missed out on winning the title when he lost in the playoffs, and now he wants to win one as a player/quarterback. Quick pass out. Farragher makes one move, and Sean Avram, who had 2 INTs in the first half, the difference in why they're up by this big margin.
Is Sean Avram the player of the game to you, Mokan?
I think it's very close. If you want to talk about a guy who had an impact, I mean, I know Vinny Galano, quarterback was fantastic, Simone and Peace, but I think Sean turned the tables in their favor.
But Sean Avram doesn't have much on offense to give forward. Does Vinny Galano gets the MVP for his incredible
But his
stats?
2 INTs resulted in 12 points. So you think about that right now. Deep ball, almost picked off. Dropped.
I don't know. I got nothing much to say about this offense anymore. It's the disaster offense. It's
Eagle says, what about Anthony De Silva?
I can see that. I can see Anthony De Silva making a lot of plays, but I think at that point that's just more of a function of Vinny Galano.
I think
if you give it to someone on offense, you can give it to Vinny.
I think it comes down to, is it because they won because they scored 40 points or because their defense shut down Applebaum?
Applebaum almost picked off by Galano, intended for Rockman.
That's kind of what I feel. I think just the defense and having even given the 2 extra possessions kind of ended the game in the first half.
4th down coming up.
Or should we give it to Mike Zanobi? He's been shutting down Applebaum all game long and forcing him to make bad throws.
That's true.
Were the picks really good picks, or was it because he was throwing back foot and into Sean Avram's chest?
And here's another key thing. They're 0 for 5 on 3rd down conversions for Recipe for Disaster. Nothing's gone right for them this evening.
Both the offense, both the defense, they're not looking like themselves. This is a big letdown for them.
Applebaum stepping up, going sideline. Aridi with a great catch, and that could be enough for a first down. We'll see. No, it is going to be 4th down coming up. Well, I can't tell with Steve Donald. No, it is a first down.
For those of you guys playing the Is the Post Open game at home, you'll know that Kevin Bustani was once again open on the post, and it was not thrown.
7th first down of the game. Applebaum rolling to his right, pumping, going. Open is Aridi, and over his head as he had him open for a split second on the wheel route.
Simo, you're a quarterback, and I mean, not really, but debatably you're a quarterback. And I was going to remark that we hadn't seen them run a wheel route all game long. That's sort of like a staple in FPF because of how consistent it is. Do you feel that is a play that they could have taken advantage of to put some points up earlier in this game?
I don't think so. I think we've been calling out the post, the corners. They're open. They're open.
I
every
just want to
play.
say something else about the offense.
But the thing about the wheel is you need a receiver really good speed to make it up, and the way their corners are playing, they're sitting on the sideline. So even if you run a wheel, you technically be throwing at Vinny Guilano rather than at your receiver.
That's fair.
Applebaum. Second down coming up. Looking left. Going to the corner again. Bustani. Great play. Is that be enough for a touchdown? It is.
That was a good route, but an even better catch.
I'm looking forward to seeing this game after it's recorded because that's a great catch. I wasn't able to see really if he got his feet in. Referee was right there, though, make the call. So for now, anyway, great catch by Ken Bustani, and some points for Recipe for Disaster. So they go home and feel a little bit better.
I think they're just trying to save face right now. They're just scoring a few points to actually save face, go home and say, listen, guys, we made it to the finals. We made it to the last two teams. We scored some points on grip and rip. We're better than the average opponents they've had. I think that this shows that this team is not dead and is going to come back next season.
And delay a game, it appears, and Applebaum false start.
Yeah, false start.
Basically, every receiver left, and the snapper just decided not to snap the ball.
Are they finally trying to go on with a hard count and make the rusher go offside?
I think doing it on a convert might be not the best idea.
We're approaching 5 plays, ever so close here. So this would be more or less a formality as we approach 5 plays and awarding the Div 4 title to Grip and Rip. A minute to 5 plays left, courtesy of Brent Bakken. Here's Bustani. He's going to walk up. Bustani's got time. No one rushing him. He's going to throw a knuckle ball. Flag on the play. That might be illegal for a pass. Incomplete.
Ball was dead anyways. Illegal forward pass. It's going to go back to Grip and Rip for them to put more points on the board.
Well, it's more or less formality. Less than a minute left with 5 plays.
They're up by 20. They just need to kill the last minute. Will they run it? Will they change quarterbacks? Basically, they can do whatever they want at this point.
Let's let Mike Zanobi get in on the action. Put him at the quarterback. That'd be fun. Just because we've been saying his name so much, let's give him some stats.
I mean, they're actually going to throw to him.
Hey,
Base formation.
He'll be open, too, because the outside left
there you go.
open.
Vinny Guilano run. No, yeah.
Caught by
Right
De Silva, it appears. And second down coming up. De Silva, third catch of the game. Just shy of 50 yards. Stuck at 49 yards.
Would you say Grip and Rip's offense, is it a balanced offense? Are they really relying on one playmaker to make something out of it?
Well,
and it's now over.
Yeah, there we go.
Grip and Rip has won the Div 4 title. A fantastic finish on a dominant way. They win 40-20, and they are your Div 4 champions. Guys, your thoughts?
I think this is, Simo, you were the one who called it. You said that Grip and Rip will win it when we talked before the game. And honestly, I didn't expect them to be as explosive as they are. And you asked right before the broadcast ended whether or not they have one playmaker. To me, the guy is Vinny Guilano. He makes the offense go. His ability to extend plays, to hit guys while he's on the move, to make quick decisions, a lot of it is on him.
I have to say, preseason, I wasn't really high on Grip and Rip. We knew the veterans, we knew the team, but I wasn't really high on them. I wasn't expecting them to be this dominant. But as the season went on, their chemistry is incredible. The way they played together, these guys, they're like a band of brothers. You know, the way they played, the way they stuck around. Everybody, they always know where the other guy is, and their defense is really incredible. Their offense works, but it's really their defense that's been shining, and they made it all the way to the championship, and they demolished the opponent to win it.
Guys, who's your MVP in your mind before they give the MVP trophy to?
I would give it to Vinny Guilano because the offense scored 40 points. There were no stops on offense. He was almost perfect.
He wins it.
I would give it to Vinny Guilano, but there's a serious consideration to give to Shawn A.
And they gave it to Vinny Guilano. So Vinny Guilano, your MVP, Div 4 champions indeed. They win it by 20. This was no contest from the get-go. However, for Recipe for Disaster, they can't hang their heads as they were fantastic in the playoffs. PZ, Simon Dagenet, thank you very much. Job well done. Congratulations to Grip and Rip. They won 40-20 and are your Div 4 champions. A fantastic winter season, guys. Great job by you, and we'll see you in spring 2015.